We've had an amazing summer here in our upstate New York Zone 6A garden, but it is time for some seasonal changes. Our front containers underneath our carding mill standard rows have been fantastic. Look at the size on this. One Plum Dandy Alternanthera has taken over at least half of the container, and I'm pretty sure it's like a foot wider than the actual container. The Meteor Shower Verbena is a little tired at this point in the season, as well as the Super Tunia Bordeaux. We learned that Selenia Apricot Begonia, although beautiful and can take full sun, cannot compete.
Yeah, it doesn't have the vigor.
Not at all. And then this new for next year, Silver River de Delta. It's funny, recently we talked to some other gardeners that had a mounding habit, and ours just went straight to trailing.
And that's going to be super cold sensitive. So we have to remove that as the nights are getting colder because it's just getting flat.
It's getting flattened. And the reason things aren't looking so great up here is we had someone watering our garden when we went on our trip to Michigan recently, but we didn't mention that these containers weren't on drip. So they got a little dried out. The roses are rebounding. There's some good new growth on there, so they're going to be fine. But these weren't looking so hot for a few weeks. But what we're going to do today, we're going to pull these annuals. We're going to fill them with some really pretty different colors than we've used before. And we're also going to take a look at our hose reel so you can see how we're going to make it easier to water these containers when we're away.
Our hose reel, which is a HoseLink hose reel, was installed this spring. We ordered the 100-foot retractable hose reel, and we have been waiting for HoseLink to release a 100-foot one because our property is pretty deep, and we only had at the time 2 hose spigots. Now we have 3, thank goodness. But our hose reel is all the way back here on the side of the house. So normally, what we would have had to do to get this hose out front would be to pull it out this way, which is really easy because HoseLinks have great retraction and things like that. And we'd have to pull it all the way out and then drag it around the front of the flower bed to water those containers. But we learned while we were away that maybe we need to make this a little bit easier for the person watching our garden. So we went ahead and we installed this hose guide right here on the corner of our house. And what that allows us to do is use the quick connects on the HoseLink to feed it through right here. Quick connect back on, and this will guide the hose reel easily along the front of the house. So Christopher, if you go around this way, I can show you. This direction, and look, it's not going to damage the siding.
But you know what?
It's guiding the hose.
Hold on.
Frederick.
He is loving these windows open.
I know, it's beautiful out today. So I can pull this straight through. It's not going to cause any damage, and I can pull it all the way across the entire front of the house. And it's not getting snagged on anything.
I can't believe it makes it this much further. I mean, I can, but when I pull it around in front, I can barely get to the 3rd container.
And then look, a little tug. Oops, I don't want it to go on the mums we're planting.
Uh-oh.
And then just a little tug, and it'll retract back in.
I find that this hose reel, because we've had it a whole summer season now.
Look at this.
I find that they retract just slightly slower, but more steady than the ones we've had in the past. And I like the fact that they just feel, I don't know, like they firmly retract, but they don't yank, if that makes sense.
Yes, so I could leave it in here like this if I wanted, which I personally don't think I want to do, or I just use the quick connect and retract like that. But this was super easy to install. All we did was we had this 4x4 from our previous hose reel, and then on the top of it, Christopher, come in here.
Let me sneak in.
I went to the hardware section of Home Depot, and I got a nipple flange and a little pipe thingy. It's 1 inch, and screwed it into the top. And then the HoseLink, let me know if you can see this or not.
You can.
Just sits right in it.
Which is so convenient because we do take these in for the winter so that the little inside parts don't freeze.
And then when we got our new one in the back, we just got a 1 inch pipe, probably like a 6-foot one, dug a hole. We did a whole video about it and then put it in with Quickcrete and mounted it that way. But the HoseLink couldn't be easier to install. Super streamlined looking, so it blends in with the aesthetic of our home. Easy to retract, Good water flow for being a 100-foot hose. I would highly recommend it. I can't see us going any other direction than HoseLink from now on.
Yeah, I really like that it's a nice dark color. It actually matches the paint that I painted the post, so it blends in really well.
So I think adding this hose guide to the HoseLink and reminding our fantastic garden babysitter that this is here for their use will ensure the success of these planters.
This always feels a little awkward pulling really beautiful annuals.
I am interested in seeing how the roses have rooted in since we first planted them. Yeah, I mean, look, that's all that came out when I just pulled these Bordeaux's, which have, look, some budworm. This is what budworm damage looks like. I don't even know if you can see that, but that's what it looks like. Which Christopher is pretty diligent about spraying for all season until just recently.
Yeah, and then we were away, so
yeah,
things got a little carried away.
All these, you know, I liked this combination a lot.
I did too. I thought this was a really nice container.
Look at all that.
That's a beautiful plant.
I wonder if we could save it as a house plant or something. Right? Probably. I know you can grow begonias inside.
Wow, this is
the plum dandy.
The plum dandy.
Oh, that had roots.
That had some roots. This is painful to take out. But we have a couple pretty cold nights coming, so most of these annuals would be completely toast.
And you know what? That plum dandy alternate there, now we considered leaving it in here for fall color, but then we realized scale-wise, it would be so much bigger than anything else we planted with it, and it would just look a little bit funny. And we decided that we're going to bring the carding mill into the garage over the winter. We're just going to line these up on the interior of the garage because they're on standard. So it's grafted on the top here, which you can see. And so we won't have to worry about the winter wind taking these.
Yeah, because this graft would probably not survive the winter. Oh, we haven't introduced our plants yet.
Oh, yeah. So Christopher's a big fan of asters. We went to the garden center with the intention of doing all asters, but they only had 3. And it's magic purple aster. So we got one for each container.
I like asters. They last a little bit longer. I like the cool tones of this particular one. And I think they're going to look really nice paired with the carding mill. We will have a couple blooms come. They do look, you know, sad right now, but they are going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, they were crispy when we got home, but they're rebounding nicely.
They are. And then we found a mum we like that's crazy for us. It's a crazy color. It's called Hannah Orange. It's really a rusty orange color, something we normally would not be planting in our garden because of this tone, but I love it. I thought this is great. And this one of the 6 that we bought is breaking our cardinal rule. We never like to buy a mum that's really blooming out. However, there were only 6 of this color left, so we had to get one of them that was bloomed out. The rest of them, Eric always says, you get a mum that has 1 bloom open to verify the color.
Mm-hmm. And this is good, but this works out for us because we get to show you what color it is right away. So that's nice. What do you think of that?
So far, so good.
Oh, you know what? Maybe because this one is so far along, we'll switch these 2.
Oh, that's a good idea. Put that one towards the back.
And then we also, I thought this was really cool. It's an ornamental pepper that ties the orange and the purple together.
Look at
that.
Here. I think that's a really cool pepper.
And I thought this could go here, like that.
As our spiller.
As a spiller. And then we have, this little ornamental guy can go here. What do you think of that?
I think that's really cute.
And we like to plant like up and at an angle. Then we have our orange mum. Then we've got another ornamental pepper called Wicked.
A wicked pepper.
Looking forward for part 2 of that movie.
Is it from Boston? Is it a wicked pepper?
It might be. And then we've got this really cool songbird red.
Okay,
which
I
is
like
pretty.
That cabbage.
Which will go here like this. And then we have this curly kale just as like a filler if we needed it, which I don't think we do.
I don't think we're going to need it, although maybe we switch it out with the one over by the pepper just for a different texture.
let's see how the colors work together, because this has a color contrast, and that, let's stand back and look.
I think I just like the curly texture.
I like the curly texture too, but let me just double check the color contrast again.
Oh, see?
Yeah, we need the color there.
We need that color.
But we have a new urn that we're putting in the backyard, so let's pop these in that new urn with the new pansies we have coming.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan.
Save that for another day though. All right, so let's remove the annuals, or should we plant these first and then do the other ones?
Let's be organized gardeners. Let's pull the annuals, then we'll get to planting.
Perfect. So we have 3 of these Urbino planters flanking our garage doors, and we like to plant them so that they all match. I think in some years we've done them so they mirror each other. We've done some years where they've been a little bit different because we've either run out of plants or switched things out.
Or we started the pattern, but we started it slightly askew.
Yes,
That's happened.
But our goal is always to get the 3 of them being the same. And when we do our fall planters, because we're kind of lacking a trailer in this container recipe, what we like to do is plant at a little tilted angle. And we're only a few weeks away from our first frost. So these we're planting just to enjoy as we're heading into winter, because it gets, what, normally deep freezes by November, right?
Yeah, by November, these will be completely shot. And let's be honest, we're a little bit blue and orange, so we're really hoping for that October 31st with this one.
I know, and I mean, and as we said earlier, these are going in the garage for the winter to protect the roses on standard, because this is our first time having roses on standard in these containers. So the goal is to plant these a little bit of an angle, have each one matching. We'll just mound up the soil underneath, but as you can see, they're all different can sizes. So we're just gonna kind of play around. We'll start with the aster, I think, and go this direction. What do you think, Christopher?
Yeah, I love these asters. And I think this might actually be a perennial. I'm not 100% sure. I think I will research online and see if this can go in the ground. I like the shape of asters.
Yeah,
too.
magic purple aster. So let's see what the roots look like on this. They're already coming out the bottom, so I think it's gonna be pretty solid.
Oh, wow, this is really good. Let me move this camera closer. I do love to make a wide angle with these cameras, don't I? There we go.
Very pretty. And I'm thinking that we'll just do it on an angle like that, right?
Yeah, that'll work.
If you come in here, Christopher, we're gonna want to kind of scoop out. Let me just move this. It's sitting a little high right now, so we're just gonna scoop out some of this soil here. And it's okay to plant it right against the container edge. I want this edge of the plant to be very much sitting at the edge of the container right there. Like that. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And then really when we're putting soil in around these, we're just covering up that root ball so that these stay nice and happy.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna tuck in this root ball like this. And you're gonna see this is still way up right here. And that's okay, because eventually we'll cover this with soil. And it's not something I would probably do for the summer season, because I think that would lead to this getting a little too moist and maybe cause some root rot or something on there. Not root rot, crown rot on there. But I think for now, just for this season, we're gonna be okay doing that.
And
so
of course,
maybe, go ahead.
And there'll be no fertilizing or any of those kind of amendments, because they're not gonna grow a ton in the next, let's say 5 weeks or so. We just want them tucked in so they can be watered.
Yeah, the goal is not growth. The goal is just blooms for the next few weeks. I think now we should do the other 2 big ones and then tuck in between with these at the end. Let's check out the roots on this orange mum. I wonder what the official name for this one is. Do you happen to remember?
I think it's Hannah Orange.
Oh, this one came right out. Not as rooted in.
Okay.
Which means we can play with the root ball a little bit.
Give it a little squeeze. The tag should be in there.
So I'm thinking, should this be like front dead and center?
I think so.
Okay. So that'll be our goal there.
If we're doing a bold orange, we should do a bold orange.
We are being bold with an orange flower. It's not normally our vibe, but we wanted something that would play nicely with the carding mill, and I think this will. Oh, it is Hannah Orange Garden Mums. And our garden center sells these as annual mums. They don't sell them as perennial mums. This root ball I can kind of squish a little bit, but I want to fill in this gap between the soil and the edge of the container. You can see that there's a tiny little gap in there that has to be filled when I'm planting at this angle.
No air pockets.
No air pockets. Is this low enough, you think, or should I go lower?
If you could go lower, it'd be good.
It's gotta go lower.
And some of that bottom of the root ball just came off, so you might be already good. Oh yeah, that's perfect.
But I still want that angle. And I also have to be careful of these carding mill roots. I wonder what rows the carding mill is grafted onto in this situation.
I know in America, there's 3 roses that they usually graft onto. And it's like Dr. Huey, Fortuniana, and something Alba. But
Okay.
I don't know if the David Austin roses use that same rootstock.
These are our very first roses on standard. And I'm not gonna lie, when we came home from Michigan for our Proven Winners trip, and they were all crispy, I was a little heartbroken, but they've rebounded very well considering.
They have.
How does that look?
Let's see. I think that's gonna work. You know, when we do fall containers, it's interesting. We see people that do sort of billowing fall containers. Maybe it's just availability at the garden center in our area. We always sort of have, I don't want to say in that this and make it sound bad, but they're always kind of like a muffin. You know, like the muffin look. Does that make sense, Eric?
We don't have a lot of fall options in our local garden centers, and I think it's only because our fall isn't that long.
Right. We usually, you know, we get a lot of different colors of mums, and we get 2 options of asters. The other one was kind of pink, and it was sort of a funky pink.
I really liked it, but there was only one of them at the garden center.
And then a lot of the cabbages and peppers. So when I see people using vines and all that sort of stuff, it's just not something we have in our area.
How is that?
I think that looks great.
So that's the main, like, big structural beefy pieces. Then I thought this pepper pulled the purple and the orange together perfectly, and using that as kind of a spiller like that.
I think it's the cutest thing.
I might tilt it though.
There were a couple different kinds
Like
of peppers.
that.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
And that you can really plant at an angle. I have noticed in years past that the pepper is kind of the first thing to wilt for us in the monarch, in the fall sun. And then this beautiful little cabbage like that.
Yeah, that's
do you
great.
think of that?
You might have to build the soil up around them a bit, but
I agree. So let me get started on that.
that's why we saved a couple extra bags of potting soil in the garage, because we knew eventually we would need them.
Peppers have pretty good roots though.
They had interesting peppers this year. They had different ones than we've seen before.
So that, what do you think of that for the cabbage?
That's perfect.
And what do you think of that for the pepper?
Both of them are great.
Okay, so now that I know it's there, I'm going to use this hand to kind of tuck some soil underneath them to get them steady. And then I can go in here with our Coast of Maine potting mix. And we've had, I think, Christopher, that our annuals have been the best they've been this year. And I attribute it to our switch to Coast of Maine. All right, I feel like that's pretty well in there. What do you think?
They look so cute.
All right, now let's do the other side. We have this other really cute ornamental pepper. It's called Wicked, like I said earlier. And that'll go there because I really like that texture. And then this pretty flat songbird red cabbage will go right next to it.
Now, Eric, I think in years past, we have had the cabbage worms. Oh my gosh.
Oh, boy, have we, from the
So,
cabbage moth.
Should I keep up it's BT will take care of them, right? So that I can do Captain Jack's?
Yeah.
So I'll keep up my weekly spray and just keep these from getting holes all over them.
How does this look?
I think it's great.
Now, what do you think of the depth of these and the angle?
Depth and angle, you've got such good instincts. They just fall right into place.
Oh, thanks. All right, so I'm using this hand to kind of fill in the base underneath. And then I'll add extra soil. These came together very nicely, actually, if I do say so.
You would have laughed, everyone, if you saw us at the garden center with a garden cart trying to come up with a combination of colors and plants. There's so many options. What did we spend an hour just trying? Okay, pink mum with the yellow pepper and this cabbage.
They had lime green peppers that I thought were so cool, and I really wanted, because you guys know I love like a lime green in the garden. I wanted to find a way to make them work, and we just couldn't come up with a combo. I think we had them with like peachy mums at some point, and it was
oh yeah,
there's a little garish.
There's a really cool mum that it starts out kind of a peachy orange and has yellow on the outside. That was a cool one.
What do you think?
I really enjoy this.
All right, let's do the other ones, and then we'll water them in. I do think that this new hose guide right here is going to make it so much easier to get this hose to those 3 containers up there.
It's just going to keep the hose in good shape. It's going to keep the side of the house in good shape because there was a couple scuff marks from trying to pull around that corner.
Get these all watered in. So you don't just want them to have a good drink of water. Watering them in also settles any fluffy soil or gets air pockets out of there that we might have missed. You might also see some extra soil flowing over the edge here. That might be a little loose.
Give them a little hose down.
Yeah. Did we talk about these? The color of these planters is called Nero Nuovo.
Yes, I finally remembered the name. What did I call it at the beginning of the season?
Oh,
I had all kinds of names.
all kinds of names.
Black. They're
But
black.
they're black. And there are only containers from Campania that we have in black. The rest of ours are Alpine Stone. But I really thought with the black roof and the black shutters and the black lighting fixtures up here, I really thought the black containers would look nice.
They do. I really enjoy them.
All right. And is there a lot of extra soil overflowing off of this?
Not at all.
Do you see any big chunks of dirt that need to be washed away?
No.
All right. Same thing over here. Get the soil settled. There might be some overflow of loose soil, and that's okay. This is a very bold color choice for us, believe it or not.
I think they're so good.
I think it's going to be a fun combo. Do you think for our annuals next year, we should stick with like a corally orange and purple theme? I know we did purple and pink this year.
I am not a big fan of the coral colors. Well, let me tell you why.
Please explain yourself.
Coral has been an interesting color to use because I find, and it could be plant choice and user error, I find that the coral colors are not reliable.
As in?
The vigor wasn't enough, or one year we picked coral geraniums that were hot orange and not coral. Finding the difference between what I think coral is and what you think coral is also important because I think coral is pink and orange mixed together.
And what do you think I think coral is?
Carding mill.
What is carding mill to you?
Carding mill is a burnt orange.
What?
It is a true orange.
You think carding mill is orange?
Carding mill is an orange rose.
I think carding mill is like peachy coral.
Carding mill is very similar to Lady of Shalott, and Lady of Shalott is a darker red-orange.
I think Lady of Shalott is orangey. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, but I think of carding mill as a true orange rose.
Do we have
There's no blooms
flower
currently. I'll put them up.
No, there is. Oh, that one's not a great example, though. It's very faded.
I mean, white and yellow with a little bit of blush.
That's just pure heat stress from getting dried out.
Yeah, no. Carding Mill is an orange rose, and I think Coral is a pink-orange combination.
So maybe we should do orange and purple up here then.
It's interesting because orange and purple to me are fall and Halloween.
But we have an orange rose, so what would you pair with it?
What would I pair with the orange rose? I would ignore that it's orange, and I would do soft pinks, yellows with a chartreuse spiller. I would do something like...
I don't think I can do chartreuse against this black. That would look Halloween-y to me.
Oh, see, I feel like it's that pop, that it gives it that extra lift to do something like...
I think I really liked that Silver River Delta against it because it was that cool tone.
Okay, so you like the cooler blue against the black, where the chartreuse would be too much. What about the Shadow Storm sweet potato vines?
Gorgeous.
You'd get the dark that you're looking for. I'd get the chartreuse because it has both.
See, I don't feel like it has chartreuse. We're disagreeing on colors right now. But that's like what makes gardening so artistic. You know what I mean?
Right. So I think of Shadow Storm as a chartreuse sweet potato vine that ages to a variegated dark purple. The new growth is all chartreuse. It's the same color as Sweetheart, Sweet Caroline sweet potato vine.
I mean, is it?
It is.
I don't know.
This is a really interesting conversation to be having over the
people see
watering.
colors, yeah.
The way we all see colors.
What do you think? Do they look clean?
I think they look clean and tidy, and they look like they're a coppery orange with a nice soft purple aster.
Okay. You know, in the garden world, they probably call that aster blue.
They probably do call that blue. Now, that'll confuse a lot of people, because they would like, that ageratum, that's a bluey purple.
Well, they call it artist blue.
Right, but it is definitely still on the purple side.
Oh, I love that this echoes back up there. That's nice.
Hold on, let me spin. It's gonna be really pretty.
That is pretty.
And these held quite a bit last season. I think they lasted a lot longer than we expected.
So let's retract this hose so easily. Give it a little tug. Sometimes I like to run the water just because it speeds up the hose retraction process.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. If you want to see what we were getting up to while these roses were frying, take a look at this video here on the screen.
Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
I'm a Grow For Me Gardening.
Thanks for growing with us.
Hello, babies. This is Freya, and this is Frederick.
They're very excited that the window is open. So
I know. I wish they could come outside.